So welcome everybody to this year's workshop for Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent, how you can win tourism awards and how to produce your best entry. So it's great that you're all here with us today. Um, if you just like to take a moment to make sure that you've got your business name showing, that would be fantastic. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with Zoom. Hopefully, well, most people are now. But there's a button at the bottom of the screen which says chat. So if you'd like to post any questions in there at any point during the presentation, then please do write them into the chat function, and we'll come back and we'll have a look at any questions. Alternatively, you might want to unmute yourself and ask a question. We want this to be as interactive as possible so that you can get the most out of it. So if you've got a question, then either write it in the chat or unmute yourself. There are emoji buttons, so you can put your thumbs up, you can wave your hands so that we can make sure that you get the most out of this session. Is that okay with everybody? So we get some nods there. Okay, that's fantastic. So we're going to run through this. And these are the things that we're going to cover. So we're going to look at why businesses enter the awards and the benefits that they can get from entering. We're going to look at the actual process. So what it means from when you first start your entry form, the journey that you'll go through. And then we're going to go through how you actually complete your entry form, the physical process of how you go through the open water system. And then finally, what are your next steps? And as we go through, I'm going to stop sharing my screen at certain points so that I can come back to you and I can ask questions so that I can see you, because when I'm sharing my screen, I can't see you. So this is what we're going to do. So to make sure that you get the most out of this, if you could just pop into the chat now, just take a minute or so to do that, what you want to get out of this session, so that we can make sure that we are tailoring the content of this session to you, to make sure that you get the most out of it so that you're able to write your best tourism awards entry. So if you're able just to type that into the chat now while I have a quick drink, that would be fantastic. Okay, that's fabulous. So we'll come back to that in due course. So first of all, why do businesses enter the awards? Well, Visit England, who's the national body for tourism, they do a survey to everyone that has entered the tourism awards. It's not people that have won, this is everyone that has actually entered. And they send the survey out once a year and they ask them, why do businesses enter? And so you can see here, there's a real wide range of reasons why people enter the awards, starting with that they're encouraged to by a colleague, they like to attend awards events, networking with other businesses. About a third of people like to do that. When people go along to awards events, they get to meet their peers, they get to meet the best tourism businesses in your area, and people like to take that opportunity. Just under half of people really like to use it as a tool to motivate their staff. People like working for award-winning businesses. People like being part of the success of businesses. We all like to be part of successful tourism businesses. So motivating staff is a really good thing as well. The chance to go on and win nationally, about half of people do that, and we'll come on to that a bit more in a minute. You will get, once you enter the awards, it's free to enter. And once you've entered, you'll complete your entry form as of stage 1. It's called round 1. And you'll complete your entry form and you'll get feedback on that entry form for free. If you get shortlisted, you'll go through to round 2, and then you'll have a mystery visit or a pre-announced visit. And then you will also get feedback on that for free. So a lot of people enter because they really appreciate a business development tool. They get independent feedback from the judges and they're able to improve their business. Some people enter because they want to influence other local partners that they work with. Sometimes people use it as a business development tool. They use writing the entry form as kind of a business planning thing, because it sort of looks at where you are now, where you want to be, and how you're going to get there. So people can use it as a business development tool as well. And PR is a massive reason why people enter. You will get so much publicity if you win a tourism award. It's a really good lever to generate good news stories. People love good news, and when you win, and I know quite a few of you here today are previous winners of the awards, when you win, you have the opportunity to generate media coverage, and that media coverage can be on your social media, it can be in print media, it can be online, it can be all manner of things. And what you'll find is that your customers and your clients and your visitors and your stakeholders will all jump on, and they'll all want to be involved in your success, and they'll be congratulating you. And if you look at any winners' websites, then you can see the publicity that they get just from being shortlisted. So you've got lots of bites of the cherry. So you have a chance to get PR when you're shortlisted. You get a chance to get PR when you win. And then if you go through to the next step, which we'll cover in a bit, to Visit England, you get another chance for additional PR. But the main reason why people enter is to give that trust mark, if you like, to their customers. By saying that you are an award-winning business, it gives visitors a real reason to trust you as a business, to know that you are an excellent tourism business. And that's crucial. When we all go on holiday, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the best of the best, and we're looking for quality businesses. And winning an award will give you that stamp to help reassure businesses. So they're just a few of the reasons why people enter the awards. So I know that we've got some award winners here today. So if I may, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen a moment, and just to see if there are any winners here today who'd like just to say a little bit about what it feels like to win an award. It's not compulsory at all, but I just wondered if a few of you were here today. No, that's absolutely fine. So
Nell,
yeah,
I'm just going to jump in there because I've just had a conversation with Kim this last week, and one of the winners that won this year, their confidence on social media is really evident. It's really give them a boost, and it's really you can just see the difference in the way they're posting.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It is a real confidence booster for businesses as well, because it's showing the world, it's showing England that you are the best tourism business, and it's a great thing. And I've worked with absolutely hundreds of tourism businesses that have won. I work with the tourism businesses in the southeast and southwest of England, and seeing them when they win and they come to award ceremonies, and the joyfulness that they get from winning an award, and from their teams, for their teams as well. And that's the saying, it's such a good motivational tool, because you can get your whole team involved. So when you start your entry form, your whole team can get involved, and it doesn't matter what size of businesses you are. You can be big businesses, you can be small businesses. I know a tiny little pub that got through to the Visit England Awards, and it won a National Pub of the Year award, and it was a team of 6 staff. So it doesn't matter about the size of your business, so please don't be put off by that. It's as long as you are running an excellent tourism business, then you have a chance of winning these awards. So there's loads and loads of benefits for you for doing it. And I just wanted to just check, I'll just do a quick poll here, if I may, to just see if you have entered the awards before. So if you just click on one of those buttons, and we'll just get a feel of whether you've entered them before, whether we've got a yes or a no. So just a few more of you to participate. There we go. So most people on the call have entered the awards before. So so that's really good to see. So just kind of a thumbs up if you've used the open water system, if you've done it recently. Have you entered the awards recently? Okay. And then I'll stop sharing the results there. Okay, great, thank you. So
yeah. Nell, I think Liv from World of Wedgwood would be happy to say something as well about them having won this year. I've got a direct message from her.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I am here, but we've got a lot of work going on, so there might be a bit of knocking
No worries,
in the
no
office.
worries.
Yeah, so we won Tea Room of the Year, I think, last year. Yeah, Tea Room of the Year. And we haven't applied for an award for a long time, actually. Sort of pre-COVID was our last time of applying for awards. So we wanted to do it this year because I think it just gives you that credibility and, you know, like I say, that confidence to go out and you know, almost recognise you know you're doing a good job. So it's for other people to recognise that you're doing a good job. I think that's the most important thing for us when we're doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and it's great that you're on the call today. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So we're going to go on now. I'll go back to sharing my screen again. So, but as I say, if you've got any questions, then please do just post them in the chat or shout them out to us, or Kim can interrupt me if I can't see you. So back to sharing the screen again. So looking at why the business centre. So there's loads and loads of benefits from entering tourism awards. It makes business sense. People like excellent tourism businesses. As we've said before, you will generate publicity. People that work with you, they get so much pride out of it. They really, really do. And it will raise your profile. But don't just take my word for it. On the Enjoy Staffordshire website, there are testimonials from people like you saying why they won and what they got out of it. So as I said, we're going to share this PowerPoint with you. So please do go through, have a look at the links and see why other people enter. And you'll absolutely see there's absolutely no reason not to enter. It takes a little bit of time to do, but it's certainly worth doing. It'll put your destination on the map as well. I mean, if you win, it's shouting out about what an amazing destination you are based in. And that is a win-win to all of you. If more visitors are coming to your destination, more visitors are coming to your business. And that's got to be a good thing for everybody. So now we're going to go through the actual process. And many of you here today have already gone through this process, but I think it's worth going through because it changes a little bit every year. So to be in with a chance of winning nationally, you need to enter these tourism awards. So Staffordshire works in partnership with Visit England, and Visit England, as I said, are the national body for tourism. And we use a system called Open Water, and Open Water is an online entry system that all the awards organisations in the country use, and everybody uses the same entry forms, and all the judges use the same judging matrices. So what this means is that if you enter in the Scilly Isles or Cumbria or where you are, everyone is doing the same entry form and is being judged in the same way. So that's really, really important. So you will fill in one entry form, and then the gold winners from the core categories will then go through to the National Visit England Awards. And so this is a really, really exciting opportunity to win nationally. So when you're completing your form over the next week or so, you need to think that it's the start of a journey. It's the start of a journey that will take you from where you are now, and it could take you right through to winning nationally and getting national publicity. So that's kind of a really, really key message for all of you here today. It's the start of a journey. And the core categories are ones that are run by you, and they're run by Visit England. And here is a list of all of them here, all the different sorts of awards that you can enter. And quite often people start off in these sessions and say, oh, well, I'm thinking about entering camping and glamping. And then they go on and think, oh, well, I've got a cafe there as well. So I could enter, I might want to enter my cafe if I'm in an attraction. Everyone, I think, in tourism, not everyone, but most people in tourism will have an unsung hero, and there'll be people that are behind the scenes, going above and beyond every day, that excel in what they do. And you can nominate these people to win an award, or one of the judges might come across such a person and nominate them as well. So we have awards for accessibility, for sustainability, and new for this year, we have an International Tourism Award. So if you are going above and beyond to look after international visitors, then this is a new award for you to enter. If you're a new tourism business, there's an award for you too. If you're running business events and excelling in this, there's a category here. We have a category for small serviced accommodation, which basically means under 35 rooms, and will incorporate pubs and inns and guest houses and B&Bs. And then the large full service hotels are for more than 35 rooms. We also have categories for self-catering, for camping, glamping, a holiday park, and experiences. And these are experiences that can be to do with wellness, it can be to do with learning. Then we have small and large attraction. Again, these are split by visitor numbers and also the number of staff you employ. And we have a category for pub of the year. And say all of these are national categories. So these national categories will all feed through to Visit England. The only one that's slightly different is the Taste of England award, because this award is split in your area into 3 different categories. So it's split into casual dining, restaurant, and cafe and tea room of the year. So when you go on to the entry form system, you will look at the top and it will say Taste of England. So you'll click on that and you'll go a bit further down the page, and then you'll have to choose from a drop box, which will say casual dining, restaurant, or tea room of the year. So they're all the different categories you can enter, and you can enter as many as you like. That's a really crucial thing. There's no limit to the number that you can enter as long as you're eligible for them. And on this page here, all of those that are highlighted, when you get this PowerPoint through, if you click on it, you'll be able to download sample entry forms. And what this means is that you can download them as a Word document, so you can print them out, you can have a look at them, you can read the eligibility, you can show them to your team, to your business partner, to your friends, to your family. You can get ideas, you can fill it in, but when you have done that, you do actually have to submit it online. So it's just a tool if you want to have a look at them in advance. In addition to the core categories, there's also some regional categories, and these are really, really important ones too, because they are looking at, there's a Rising Star Award, which is looking at younger people, so people under 25, and they can be nominated by a college provider or a manager, but it's all about recognising young talent within the industry. And then there's also a Team of the Year award, Unsung Heroes for an individual. So you've got a category here which is also for team, so you might want to enter a group of people into that. So these are just run at a local level, so you'll win here and that will be absolutely awesome. This is just a link to all the sample entry forms all in one place, so you can click on that link and you can download them and have a look at them. But as I say, the final submission has to be via the online portal. And again, there's a link to that on the Enjoy Staffordshire webpage, where there's also a whole remit of information. There's hints and tips, there's reasons about why you should benefit, there's film, there's kind of information about the judging, about deadlines. So definitely have a look at the website and make sure that you enter via the online portal at the end. So I'm just going to stop sharing a moment and just have a look at Andrea and Kim to see whether we've got any questions in the chat so far.
Yes, we do have a question from Lowe's on Carter Street, which says, can we apply for both casual dining and restaurant of the year? My answer to that would be no. You have to decide which category you're in, because otherwise you're competing against yourself, for one thing. You need to decide, do I meet the eligibility requirements for the casual dining award or the restaurant of the year award, and decide which one would be better for your business to enter.
Great. Anyone else got any questions? Can we have a show of hands about who's going to enter accommodation? Anyone accommodation? Attractions? Just wave your hands around, put your thumbs up. Yay, thank you. Or use the emoji button if you haven't got your camera on. What about experience? Food? Anything to do with food? Great. Time kitchen. I've got a friend in Australia who's got a cafe of the same name. Anything to do with attractions? So I said attractions before. Self-catering, thank you. Camping and glamping. Accessibility, sustainability. Unsung hero. You're not gonna put your hands up now, because you might be sitting next to your unsung hero, mightn't you? Brilliant. Well done. Thank you for that. Okay, so if we haven't got any more, then we'll go back to the PowerPoint. So go back to sharing again. There we go. Hopefully you can all see that okay. It's come back on again. So moving on from the sample entry forms, I say some people like to have a physical copy, a downloadable copy that they can look at, and that's why you'd use the sample entry forms. So the application system, as I said, it's run by a system called Open Water. It's fairly straightforward and user-friendly. You go in and you create an account to start with, and that's the first thing that you do. And the account is fairly straightforward. You just put in your basic contact details. So once you've created an account, you'll be able to have a look at all the different categories that are there. They're further down the screen, but all the different categories that are available will come up once you've created your account and you go to the home page. So the main thing before you start is to look through really carefully at the eligibility criteria for each award, and the eligibility is different for each of the awards that you're going to enter. The definition of tourism business is the same, so you need to read that really carefully to make sure that you are classed as a tourism business and are attracting visitors from outside the local area as well. So have a look at the definition of what makes a tourism business, and then make sure that you are eligible so that you are in the correct area, that you are open for judging, and the key thing here is, that you're able to get the entry form in on time. That's the main thing as well. So make sure that you are eligible before you start work. So have a read through the entry form and the eligibility criteria. And as we said, they're different for each of the categories. So you can have a look. This is for new business. I didn't ask about that. Is anyone going to enter new business? No. New business, it's really important that you've been trading for at least 3 months from when the awards opened. So that means 2 years, between 3 months and 2 years on the 10th of June when the awards opened. But I don't think that's relevant to people in the room today. So the other one I'm going to come on to, large attraction. So we talked about this. You've got to be directly involved in tourism, so you're making a contribution to the visitor economy, attracting people from outside the area. As I said, there's different eligibility for each of the awards, so just make sure that you meet all of those criteria. So now we're going to come on to the actual application, the kind of nuts and bolts of what you need to do next. The first part of your application form is all about setting the scene. The judges are independent experts who do not know your business. You can't make any assumptions that anyone will know anything about your business. The only way they're going to judge round one of the entry form is the information that you give them on the entry form. So you need to make sure that absolutely everything is in there to give yourself the best chance of winning an award. So the first section isn't a scored section, but it's setting the scene for the judge. So you're going to put some business details in there. That's going to include things like how many staff you've got, how long you've been trading for, a little bit of background. Then you're going to put in a promotional description of 100 up to 120 words. And I take some time to craft this, because if you win, then this promotional description is going to be the one that Andrea and her team are using on awards night. And it will also be the same words that Visit England will use if you win nationally too. And the same goes for the images. So make sure that the images that you're using are really high quality and they relate to the category that you're entering. So for example, if you were entering a hotel, you'd have an image of your hotel. But that in that hotel, you might also want to enter the restaurant of the year. So you'd have a different image. If you entered a restaurant, you'd have an image of the restaurant. If you entered accessibility, you would have an image that would relate to that category. So make sure that your promotional images relate to the awards category that you're entering. So that's really important. And that they are copyright free. If they're not copyright free, then you have an opportunity to credit the photographer in there as well. So you need to have 3 promotional images. So you've got a bit of background in there as well. Now you're going to be writing about accolades that you've won over the last 2 years. So these can be things that are big awards like Michelin stars. They might be local quality accreditation awards. They might be environmental quality mark that Staffordshire runs. It might be a Green Tourism Business Award. It might be a TripAdvisor Traveller's Choice Award. It might be awards that you've previously won in this competition as well. So you have to have won them in the last 2 years, and you'll need to put a date in there as well. So you put the award that you've won in, and then you put the date in. Could be Chamber of Commerce Awards, Federation of Small Businesses, anything that relates to your business. So make sure you pop all your awards in there. Now this section isn't scored, but as I say, it's really important because it's setting the scene for the rest of your application. With each question, you are able to put in supporting evidence. You don't have to, it's not compulsory, but it's an opportunity for you. And the supporting evidence is to enhance the answer that you've given. So it should add value to everything that you've said, and it shouldn't repeat. It shouldn't be used as an opportunity. Let me start again. You have a word count for each question that you answer, and it's either 500 words or 300 words. You can't use supporting evidence just to increase your word count, because the judges will disregard that. So you couldn't just attach a Word document with additional words in. That doesn't work. So the supporting evidence is there to enhance your entry. So for example, if you're talking about your amazing menu that you're offering, you might want to put in a link to that menu. If you want to highlight a particular review from one of your customers, you might want to put in a link to that. If you're writing about sustainability, you might want to include a link to your sustainability page. They all have to be URL links, but you could also upload files or documents into a cloud folder and then put the URL link in there as well. So if you want any help with your entry or application, then at the end of this presentation, there's going to be an email address, and that will take you to Kim and Andrea, and they'll be able to help you with any other questions you've got about your entry form. But supporting evidence, you don't have to do it, but you can use it to add value. So, and that's for each of the questions. So now we come on to the first scored part of the entry form. So you've gone into Open Water, you've created your account, you've set the scene with the background, you put some images in there, you've written about your awards, and now you're coming on to the first scored section, and this is going to be 30% of the final mark. And this is all about your online social life. And so we're going to be looking here for things like websites, social media platforms. Who uses Facebook? Thumbs up. Instagram, TikTok, yeah, YouTube, anything like that. Pinterest, lesser used, but yeah, okay, cool. So you need to put in links here to all of your social media platforms and your website, and also links to review sites that you want the judges to have a look at. There's also a space for you to put in a link to your sustainability policy or green guide, and also to your accessibility guide. And so you can put links in there as well. And what the judges are going to be looking for is they're going to be looking for websites that inspire visitors to come and visit, and not just you, but your wider destination as well. So how does your website, why is it attractive and inspirational? Do you use film? Do you use 360-degree tours? Do you have lots of useful information on there so that people can extend their stay, that you're easy to find, that you have customer reviews on there, you have linked to testimonials? You need to make sure that your website is accessible, completely accessible, and not only just on mobile or tablet, but meets the accessibility guidelines as well. If you're using social media platforms, because we appreciate that more and more people are using social media now, that things like Facebook, if you are entering an accessibility category, then your images on social media should be relating to that category. If you're entering sustainability, then likewise, the images that you're posting on social platforms should relate to that too. And it's kind of how innovative and creative are you being on social media? say, are you using film? Are you using different platforms in different ways? What innovative things are you doing on there? So the other thing that's really important is review sites as well, because you'll put in links here to review sites that you want judges to look at. So they could be, you know, TripAdvisor, Google, upfront reviews, all manner of things. You put in the links there and the judges will have a look at them, and they're going to be looking for reviews, but they're going to be looking at how you are engaging with people. Are you replying to people that give you reviews? Are you writing personalized replies to those people? Because that's really important, because when we're thinking about review sites, we're not thinking that we're replying just to one person. We're replying to all those millions of people that are going to be reading those reviews. So really important that we're looking for how you deal with reviews, positive and negative ones. I'm sure most of you won't have negative ones, but if you have the occasional one, how do you deal with them? And judges are also going to be looking at how you are engaging with people on social media. So we all know social media is about being sociable. So we're not just shouting at people, not bombarding with people with information all the time. How are we engaging with our customers? How are we encouraging conversations with our customers on social media? So they're the things that the judges will be looking for as well. So has anyone got any questions on social media and what sort of things they should be putting in that area of their entry form? Kim, have we got anything there? Anything in the chat?
Excuse me. Yes, we've got one question, not quite related to what you were just mentioning. We've got our visitor centre only open this year, but we've been operating for a few years. Can we enter the visitor centre as a new tourism business?
Depends on the actual date when you entered, because when did your awards open, Kim? Because
10th of June, I believe.
Yeah, so it's got to have been open at least 3 months before that. So if it was trading for customers 3 months before your opening date, then it can enter the new tourism business.
And that is the actual visitor centre rather than the business as a whole.
It has to be trading, so it has to be open for customers. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a look on the entry form, there's I highlighted it back along, but there's a detailed explanation about what that means, what trading customers actually means.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
On that. Anything else, anyone? Anything? Everyone's happy with their social media life? Yeah. Okay. And got something to put there. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Right. We'll come back to the next part, the question number 1. So we'll just wait for my screen to load a minute. There we go. So 30% we've done. Right. So now on to the main entry form. You've got 4 questions to answer. So the first question is your top qualities, second, your recent improvements, third, your results, and fourth, your future plans. And we're going to run through each of them in some more depth so that you can get your best answer down for each of those. So question 1, your top qualities. This is 500 words and is 20% of the final mark. And for each question, there are suggested examples underneath the question. So the recommendation is that you go through all of those examples there and make sure that you are thinking about them and writing about them if you can. There might be other things you want to write about too, but make sure that you read the question very, very carefully and then look at those examples and then answer them, just to make it a bit easier for yourself, really. So you need to put up to 5. So 5 things about why you are better than everybody else. Why are you the best cafe in your area? Why are you the best cafe in England? Why are you better? What do you do that makes you absolutely unique? You stand out head and shoulders above everybody else. And sometimes people can be a bit modest about this and they think, oh, I don't know what to write here. So I would just say then have a look at your review sites, and quite often there's a theme that comes all the way through that about why you are brilliant. So make sure that you pick up on those brilliant things And then you can put a link to those reviews as a supporting evidence for this top qualities. So what makes you unique? What are your strong points? And they're going to be looking for detailed examples from across the whole of the business. And I'll say this for each of the questions as we're going through it. When I talk about the whole of the business, they're going to be looking at, they're going to be wanting examples from, say, your facilities, your services, your accessibility, your marketing, the way you look after your staff, all of those kind of things. So from across the whole of your business. So when you are welcoming your visitors, what do you do to make sure that it is a memorable experience for each and every person that comes through the door? And write about why you are excellent across the whole of your business as well, and what things you do that go, say, above and beyond. What do you do that delights customers? What do you do to make people smile as they walk through the door? When they leave your business, what are they talking about? What do you do that is brilliant that they're talking about? Is it that you're making the best cake? You know, have you won awards for your cakes? Is it that your coffee is out there, awe-inspiring coffee that's sourced locally? Is it that you're catering and you're incredibly inclusive to every single person that comes through the door? It might be the way that you're looking after your staff. We'll come on to that in a bit more detail in a minute. The same with your marketing and your accessibility. And there's an example there on this page taken from the Staffordshire website, which is kind of just sums up about what makes your area special as well. So these are sort of things that you could be picking up and having to think about what makes you different to everybody else. You know, it might be that you are, I don't know, the biggest attraction in the area. It might be that you have greater customer satisfaction than anybody else in the area. It's kind of thinking about those things that make you unique. It might be that you are a trendsetter. So it might be that you're unique because you're thinking about different trends and acting on them before anybody else. It might be that you're targeting particular groups of people. That might be what makes you different. It might be that you're focusing on solo travelers. It might be that you're focusing on people with dogs, or people that are set jetting, or Generation Z, or people that use TikTok, or all manner of different things. It might be that that is the reason that sets you aside from everybody else. And you'll have a chance to have a look through this afterwards. And there's also information on the Staffordshire website about different trends that are going on. It might be that it might be how you care for your team. And the image here is one of the unsung heroes from last year. Again, we talked about going the extra mile. What do you do to welcome people? What do you do to welcome every single person that comes through the door of your business, that makes them feel truly special and unique and cared for and nurtured? And to that extent, when they leave your business, they're talking about you and they're telling all their friends and family, and they're sharing it on social media. So it's those little things that you do that have a massive impact. It might be the way that you train your staff. It might be that you offer particular courses or an induction thing. Induction course, that might be what makes you different than everybody else. It might be the way that you ask for customer feedback and act on customer feedback as well. It might be the way that you reward staff for their service. There's an image here of a rock star of the month. It might be the way that you incentivize things for your staff. Is that what makes you different to everybody else? It might be that you're doing particularly innovative things with your marketing. And if you wanted to get some ideas about marketing, then you can have a look. There's some links here on the Visit England website about online marketing as well. And also there's a PR toolkit there as well, if you wanted some ideas. So in the course of your marketing, are you doing things that are very, very different? Are you targeting journalists? Are you doing interesting things on social media? Are you doing joint marketing with other businesses in your area? Are you working with your destination management organisation, or Visit England or Visit Britain on any of their campaigns? There's a picture there that I took from Staffordshire, and just to show ways that you can work with them too. There's content that they're asking for in terms of how you can work together. And so this might just be another way that makes you stand out from the crowd. It might be you stand out from the crowd because you are more accessible than any of your competitors. There's loads and loads of ways that you can get this information across to your customers on your websites, on your social media platforms, on information that you send out to your customers. How do you make sure that every single person is cared for? And what do you do to make your business truly accessible? And we're not just talking about wheelchairs here, because quite often I have that comment. I've got a listed building. I can't cater for people that are in wheelchairs. We're not looking at what you can't do. We're looking at what you can do. So we're looking at how you cater for the widest amount of people and what you do to welcome them. And it might be, again, that it might be the facilities and services that you offer. It might be the way that you've lit your business. It might be that you have seating throughout your business. It might be you have large print menus. It might be that you have a magnifying glass so people can read the menus. It might be that you're catering for special diets. So you might be catering for vegans or gluten-free. I'm always partial to cakes. I've always got pictures of cake in any of my presentations I've used anywhere. What do you do to make sure that you are truly accessible? And there's so many websites that can help you with this. And it's such a crucial thing to make sure that you're doing. And I've got an example here. It's not from your area, sorry, but it's the British Museum. And I use this as an example because I really like what they've done in terms of their accessibility information that they provide for visitors. On the Visit England website, there's also a load of information you can have a look at on there too. But here you can, if you have a look at, I always think it's really good to learn from other businesses and what they do. And that's another point I didn't make earlier about why people enter, that quite often if people don't win, they will go to the gold and silver winners to see what they did so that they can find out what you could do better. And so I always think it's really good to have a look at what other people are doing to see how you can improve and what you can do better. So these are things, and we're still looking at question 1 here. So we're looking at reasons why you are better than everybody else. So accessibility might be one of the things. It might be that you're more sustainable than any of your competitors. And this could be things like not only economic, social, environmental. We'll be looking at things that can be big and can be small. Again, think about across the whole of your business. So it could be that you're using green energy supplies. It could be that you're generating your own energy. You might have solar, you might have wind, you might have a biomass boiler. It might be that you got your own borehole. It might be that you're working with your suppliers to minimize the amount of waste. So you might be asking your suppliers not to package in plastic. It might be the way that you recycle waste. It might be that you're different than everybody else because you're looking after wildlife in your area. And that might be things like, I don't know, I've got bird feeders outside, which are at the moment just covered in birds. So it might be that you're planting for butterflies. It might be that you give your guests a pair of binoculars and a wildlife identification book. It might be that you're promoting the local area. So you've got leaflets about other local businesses around you. It might be that you recruit local staff. It might be that you're encouraging your staff to travel to you by public transport, if that's possible. It might be the way that you're trying to get your guests to come to you by public transport, and do you incentivize that? Kind of just looking at things, still on question 1, things that can set you apart from everybody else. Like I say, you need to give examples, and sustainability is quite often a really good one to put in there, along with accessibility. It might be things like how you promote walking and cycling. It might be that you do charity work. So you might be collecting for specific charities. You might give prizes to charities. you might sponsor local organisations like football teams. It might be that you've got a particularly fantastic responsible recruitment plan for your staff. It might be that you are doing events that are promoting the local culture in your area. There's so many things that you can do from sustainability point of view, and they can be, you know, you can have really big projects, but you can also have small projects that have a massive impact. And the premise of it all is that it will save you money as well as being good for the planet. It will save you money too. And Staffordshire have got an environmental quality mark, and there's a link to that here too, as well as the Green Tourism Awards, as well as things that you can do on the Visit England website. So that's all about being more sustainable. So they're just things you could put in for question 1. So took a bit of time going through all of that. So again, I'll just stop sharing, and so come back to Kim to see if there were any questions, and also to see if anyone wants to ask any questions.
Hi, Nell. Just one in the comments from Claire from Console Valley Lodge. We have a lot of reviews that are not on socials but are in a book. Is there a way we can share these?
Yeah. As long as kind of GDPR, you're not sharing people's names and contact details and so on. You can take photos of them, and you can upload them onto a cloud file, and you can share them that way, and then put a link to that URL in.
Thank you. That's it in the comments.
My dog's had enough now. She's going, right, I'm off. Okay, so that's question 1. So everyone knows why they're brilliant. Everyone's happy that they are a brilliant tourism business. So we got an answer to question 1, because that's what it is. It's basically, why are you better than everybody else? That's what you've got to put in there. So now we come on to question 2. And question 2 is all about your improvements. So what have you done over the last 2 years that has improved your visitors' experience or developed your business? So we're looking at the last 2 years, and we know that the world has changed in many ways over the last 2 years. And what I found is that lots of people have made lots of changes over the last 2 years. So this is your chance to write about them. And this is 500 words, and it's 20% of the final mark. So you need to write about up to 5 ways. And again, there's a whole list. The entry forms are there to help you as well. So you'll see here, it's got one or more of the following example areas may be relevant to address in your answer. You don't have to cover all of them, but you might want to go through all of them just to have a think, to inspire you about what you should write about. So different things that you can write about on your entry form. You've got what have you done that's different over the last 2 years, and why have you done it? So have you done things differently because of legislation? Have you done it because your customers asked you to? Have you made changes to your business because you have a staff suggestion scheme and you've acted on that? You've asked for feedback from your customers, hopefully throughout their visit. So you'll have lots and lots of customer feedback, and how are you acting on it? You might have made improvements because of your customer feedback. So you want to be writing that down here. So there might be that you've made improvements to your website, to your social media stuff. It might be that you are upgrading your skills or your team. If you're a small business, it might be that you've decided to train yourself, do an online course in something. Like I say, it doesn't matter about what size your business is, whether you're big or small, it doesn't matter. You can still enter and win these awards. So improving your skills might be another area. It might be that you've decided that you want to expand your, it might be that you improved your facilities to target a particular group of people. It might be that you've improved your accessibility and inclusivity offering. So you might have done put different facilities in place. It might be that you've done more from the sustainability point of view, things that we talked about just now. So the first question is about why are you brilliant? And the second question is about what have you improved? So they can be different I get asked this quite often. It's like, aren't they the same answers? They don't have to be. They can be different. Why are you brilliant? How have you improved? So you want up to 5 things here, and they say it can be to do with the environment. It can be, I know, got more and more about carbon reduction plans. It could be about green transport. It could be about how you're using digital now. You might be using digital in a different way. You might have decided to go and use a different platform. It might be that you've decided to develop your staff resource or training pool, or it might be that you changed the way that you reward your staff or your staff structure. So yeah, you want to write about up to 5 ways in which you've developed your business. So that's question 2, and that's 20% of the mark. And then we come on to question 3. And question 3, we're looking for successes here over the last year. So you've carried out your improvements, and here is where we want facts and figures about successes. And this isn't up to 5. This is, you need to write 3 things down here. So if you don't write 3 things down, you won't get the points. So you need to make sure you're writing 3 things down, and you've got 300 words to do it. And you want to make every single one of those words count. It's really important. You can't just go, we had a very successful year. We need to say that as a result of doing X marketing campaign, it generated Y in new business. As a result of putting X number of staff through a customer care training program, it's increased customer satisfaction by Y. It might be, we did this on social media and it got X number engagement, which led to X number of bookings. So it's kind of thinking about these successes and thinking about how significant they've been to your business. What's been the overall impact on your business of these successes? And has it been across the whole of your business? So are these successes related to front of house facilities, services, accessibility, sustainability, that kind of stuff? And it needs to be facts and figures here. So no, we don't want any waffle. We don't want any waffle in any of the entry form, but we want facts and figures. That's what it's all about. And you can see here, there's an example of really good facts and figures on the left-hand corner. This is what Staffordshire have said. And these are the sort of things, obviously the figures might not be the same if you've got a tiny tea room. But it's like you want to be using facts and figures and evidence here. Everything that you write in your entry form must obviously be accurate and factually correct, but here you want to be using figures to highlight your successes. So you've got to write 3 successes down there, and again they'll list the evidence that you could be putting there. So that's question 3, and then you've got question 4, which is the last question, which is all about looking to the future. And so this is, you know, when I said at the beginning, it's a bit like business planning. It's like, where are we now? Where do we want to be? How are we going to get there? So this is what we're looking at, your future plans. So we're looking at 3 ways that you're going to develop over the next year and why. So you need to write 3 in. Sorry if it sounds like I'm stating the obvious, but it's kind of, it's so often when we're looking at entry forms and people haven't answered the question, and it's so sad because you think you probably run a really, really amazing business, but you haven't answered the question. And if you don't answer the question, the judges can't give you the points. If they don't give you the points, they can't shortlist you, they can't visit you. So it's so worth taking the time to craft and create your entry form so that you can win. So question 4, 15%, 3 ways, 300 words. So here they're going to be looking for detailed plans about what you're going to do over the next year and why. So it might be that your customers have said, I think you should be doing this. It might be that your staff have said, I think you should be doing that. And so that's the reason why. And then you've got to write about what's the impact on your business going to be. So why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? What you're doing what do you expect the impact to be? So it's kind of, it is business planning, it's looking ahead. So it might be that you've decided that X particular trend is happening over the next year and you want to be part of that. You want to target that market. So you're going to be looking at doing some marketing to a particular audience. It might be that you decided that you wanted to target a particular segment. You might want to target, I think, dog-friendly people. You might want to target family groups. And why are you doing it? So we've decided that we're going to target dog-friendly because there's been a 500% increase in dog ownership, and we want to target, I don't know, 10 new dog owners to come and visit a week. So it's kind of like, why are you going to do it? And you want to be precise as well. So again, it could be about sustainability, accessibility. It could be about your staff. It could be about your marketing. It could be about digital as well. So 15%, three things that you're going to do over the next year, why you're going to do them, and what the impact's going to be, or what you think the impact's going to be. So those questions, they're all tweaked slightly depending on which category you enter. So, but only a little bit. So basically those questions are similar. But if you enter multiple categories, you'll have to fill in different entry forms for each category. You can't just cut and paste across, because I said, if you were entering the cafe of the year, and that cafe was located within an attraction, and one of the eligibility criteria is that cafes in attractions can enter as long as you don't have to pay to get into the cafe. So if you've got a cafe, you'd be putting in different information on your entry form than you would if you were talking about your attraction. So you'd have different information and different pictures in there as well. So you fill in a different entry form for each category that you enter, and although the questions are very similar. Questions that are different are for unsung hero, because here in this one, this is a definition of an unsung hero, but you only have one question to answer, and that's basically why that person should win the award. And you need to give 3 examples of exceptional things that they do, but it's only one question that you have to answer. The same for Rising Star. Again, describe why they deserve to win the award with 3 examples. And then Team of the Year. Again, why does the team deserve to win the award? So yeah, so they're the only ones that have slightly different questions that you have to answer. All the rest are very similar. So before we sum up with our top tips, we're going to come back to, where's Kim gone? There she is. And have a look at whether we've got any questions in the chat, or anyone wants to turn their cameras on. Turn the cameras on, unmute themselves, ask away. Any questions?
There's no questions in the chat at this point.
Okie dokie. Anyone want to say anything? Nope. Okay. We're going to run through just a basic a summary, a very, very quick summary now of all the points that we've covered today.
Just one question, just one clarification. Question 3, all submitted data is treated as confidential.
Absolutely. All the judges will sign a confidentiality agreement. So anything that you write down there is strictly confidential. So yeah, absolutely no problem with that.
And George from Lowe's on Carter Street wanted to say a big thank you. This has been really useful. Good. Well, we'll just sum up with these a few top tips, which is say it's a summary, and then a couple of questions, and then we can close if that's okay with Kim and everyone else. But so top tips. Read the guidance notes. It sounds so obvious. I know it does. And I am repeating myself, but it's so sad, as I say, when people don't do that. So there's loads of guidance out there. There's loads of information out there to do with the awards and the different categories. Read through it, set some time aside, read through it. I've completed these entry forms before, so I know what you have to do, and I know the amount of time it will take. So read through the guidance notes, make sure it's really clear in your head,
And then you'll think that you might want to enter more than one category as well. So make sure that you read the eligibility criteria for each category to make sure that you are eligible to enter. Then you have a look at the questions, you look at all the examples that are given there, because you might want to use them. There might be others that you want to include as well. So then you're pulling all the information together. You're thinking about other things as well, like accessibility, sustainability, innovation. You're making sure that you've got evidence to back everything up. And then you're going to be reviewing stuff as well. So you're going to be looking at your entry, your evidence, your social, your web. You're going to make sure that you basically mystery shop your own business. And if you can't do it, get someone else to do it. And I think it's a really, really good thing to do. And I know when I worked in tourism before, I ran hotels and bars and would mystery shop your own business. So go in and mystery shop your own website, make sure all the links are working, make sure that everything's current, make sure that you've got testimonials on it, make sure your accessibility information is very, very accessible. So on the front page of your website, make sure your sustainability stuff's there. How are you promoting the fact that you are very sustainable or accessible as well? That's really important. That's something I didn't touch on earlier. It's like, how are you promoting your sustainability to your customers and your staff? Do you have that on your website? Do you have it in your business? So review all your social media platforms and your website as well. Then you might want to review your business. You might want to be a mystery shopper in your own business, or get one of your friends to do it. Come in and be a mystery shopper in your business, because I think it's always really useful to get feedback from different people. And one of the benefits of entering these awards is you'll get independent feedback too. But before you put your entry form in, you want to make sure that everything is as excellent as it can be. So have a walk through your own business and see if there's any improvements that you can make before you press submit on your entry form. Because on open water, what you can do is you can go in and you start your entry, and you say you fill in question 1, and then you save it, and then you can come back to it later. You don't have to do it all in one go. So once you've created the account, just make sure that you save it, and then you can share that information with your team. Then you can go back and you use question 2, save that, and you can keep going in and you can keep editing it and crafting it to be the best it can be up until the point when you press submit. And as soon as you press submit, that's it. You can't go back to it. So make sure you're entirely happy with it before you press submit. So top tips 2, make sure that you refer to the relevant criteria, make sure you answer the question and you tailor your answer, and use facts. Don't make ambiguous claims like the forecasting stone here. That's why I put it up there, very ambiguous. Definition of when it's wet and when it's dry. I like that in a weather forecast. So make sure that if you have evidence to support your answer, to back it up, then you can use it. Use the word count. As I said, you can't get the points unless you are answering the question. So you don't want to be using vastly flowery language. You want to be factually accurate and correct and covering all of your business, as we said, all the way through. You've got plenty of time, so I really would start it now. I know most people leave things to the last minute. It's human nature to do that. We all do it. I've seen entry forms for award schemes that we've run. I've seen 110 entries came in the last 24 hours. Don't do that. It's very stressful, and you won't be putting in your best entry. Start it now and take the time. You will be able to produce a better entry if you've got more time. So you're highlighting why you're different. You're highlighting why you're better than everybody else. I think that's really a good thing to do as well, because it kind of, just having a think about that will give you ideas for your own marketing as well. Posts that you can use in social media. Again, I've seen people posting on social media actually for the first time that they've entered the awards, and so that's it's a starting point in a journey, and they're sharing their journey with their customers as well. So back to this. So you make sure you're highlighting why you're different, you're not overcomplicating, and that you are fully answering the questions. Once you've gone through, once you've created your form, then I would ask someone else to read it, to proofread it, and then I'd get someone else to proofread it, because the awards are all about excellence. And as such, you want to be creating an excellent entry form. You want to be giving a good impression to the judges. So make sure that you don't have typos in there. Make sure that you've covered every single point you want to cover, that you've used the word count, that you've put in evidence, if you've got evidence you want to include, and that you submit it before the deadline. Can anyone spot the deliberate mistake on this picture on the right hand side? Anyone want to shout it out? Because I can't see you, or Kim will have to tell me if anyone's shouting it out.
50 minutes for an hour-long cruise.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. Proofreading. So it's really important that people that you proofread it, and sometimes it's really hard. I know if I'm looking at my own work, I find it really hard to see mistakes, but other people will see them. So make sure that your entry form is as good as it can possibly be before you press submit. So the next steps for you are to go to the website if you haven't done it already, and have a look at the reasons why you should enter, if you need any more reasons to enter, and then go through, start your entry form on the online system. You create your account, start your entry form, and then this is the timetable for you. So you've got a few months now to get your entry in, and then the finalists are going to be announced in January, and then you'll have a gala dinner in March, and then the Visit England Awards will be usually around June, so June 2025. So that's the journey that you could possibly take simply by, after this workshop, going away and completing an entry form. There's a whole load of links here as well, which I hope will be useful to you. Let's say we're going to share this with you afterwards. And remember that excellence really does pay. So that if you run an excellent tourism business, then this is a fabulous opportunity for you to showcase that and to show the world why you are an excellent tourism business. So if you've got any questions at all, then please do get in touch with Andrea and her team, and they'd be more than happy to help. Thank you.